Okay, let's unpack this. The world of artificial intelligence is moving at, well, a breathtaking pace, really. And our sources today are just a whirlwind of breakthroughs, market shifts, and some pretty vital discussions. So this deep dive is designed for you to cut through the noise and maybe give you those aha moments about where AI is heading right now. Our mission, basically, is to explore the latest advancements, understand the competitive landscape, and critically examine the societal implications. We want to make sure you walk away truly well informed.
It's an incredible moment. The sheer volume of innovation is, well, it's matched only by the complexity of its impact. AI isn't just evolving, it's genuinely transforming industries, daily life, and the very conversations we're having globally.
So let's dive right into the high-stakes game of the AI market then. There's a serious challenge brewing to the existing giants. Here's where it gets really interesting. Google is now openly selling its latest TPUs, that's their tensor processing units, versions 7 and 8, selling them to external customers. And they're even in talks to deploy them across independent GPU cloud data centers. This feels like a direct, pretty aggressive bid to challenge Nvidia's dominance in AI hardware.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a fascinating strategic chess move. This isn't just about the hardware itself. It's a play to sort of democratize access to that high-end AI infrastructure. What this means for the bigger picture, well, it could fundamentally reshape the economics of AI development. It might foster broader innovation by providing real alternatives to the current market leaders, shaking up that foundational layer of AI compute power.
Right. And despite some, economic headwinds elsewhere, funding in M&A and AI seems still red hot. We're seeing significant investments like Exa AI securing $85 million at a $700 million valuation. That's a huge vote of confidence, isn't it?
It really is. That significant investment in XOAI, especially at such a high valuation, it points to the market's hunger for specialized enterprise AI solutions. It's maybe less about the sheer volume of money overall and more about these targeted bets on areas with a clear potential return, you know, moving beyond just generalist LLMs to deeply integrated domain-specific intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just funding. We're seeing major strategic acquisitions, too.
Absolutely. OpenAI recently acquired Statsig for, what was it, a staggering $1.1 billion. And they brought Statsig's founder, Vijaye Raji, on board as OpenAI's CTO of Applications. That seems clearly aimed at boosting their experimentation and product analytics capabilities.
Exactly.
And similarly, CoreWeave is acquiring OpenPipe to bolster efficient open model deployments.
These moves, they aren't just about growth in the abstract sense. They're about acquiring key capabilities, talent, market share. They're defining who leads the next wave of AI product development and deployment. And crucially, how quickly they can bring cutting-edge models to market. It highlights a critical trend. Sometimes you have to buy your way into that next-gen tech to stay ahead.
Yeah, makes sense. And we can't ignore that recent Google antitrust ruling either. It restricts Google from those exclusive search contracts with device makers, which potentially opens the door for AI upstarts like, say, OpenAI and Perplexity to promote their search tools on iPhones.
Right. While this ruling could introduce more competition, we have to remember Google still maintains pretty significant advantages, advertising, browser dominance. But it does signal a broader effort, maybe, to level the playing field a bit. And it reflects how rapidly this whole competitive landscape is shifting. It's even influencing how giants like Microsoft are accelerating their own in-house AI models, trying to reduce dependence on partners like OpenAI. The message seems clear. No single player gets to dominate indefinitely here. It's too dynamic.
Okay, so with all this capital and strategic maneuvering defining the AI landscape, you might be wondering, what new capabilities are actually powering this revolution on the ground? For the developers building these systems, let's zoom in a bit on the flurry of new tools empowering them. We're seeing innovations like the Bruno VS Code extension, which brings API testing and collection management right into the editor, streamlines workflows. And then there's LangChain 1.0 Alpha that introduces a unified interface for reasoning, tool use, multimodality across various model providers. Seems like it simplifies a lot of complex integrations.
Yeah, the unification is key.
Another exciting open source debut is DocPixie. It's a multimodal agentic document Q&A system, and notably, it handles text and images without embeddings.
That's the fascinating part. DocPixie's ability to process multimodal data without embeddings? That's a significant technical leap. It means it's processing the data more directly, bypassing that common step of converting information into numerical vectors, which can potentially lead to more efficient, maybe more transparent processing, especially for complex documents. This trend towards simplifying complex AI tasks, enhancing agentic capabilities, it's really interesting. These tools are making a sophisticated AI more accessible and, importantly, more robust for everyday development work.
And beyond just the specific tools, the community itself is also contributing foundational resources, right? We've seen a new high-quality data set released 2 billion tokens sourced from like 51,000 Kaggle notebooks. That offers a really rich corpus for training and research.
Absolutely crucial. This kind of open contribution, it underscores a collaborative spirit within the AI ecosystem. It provides these vital resources that can accelerate breakthroughs, allow developers to build more capable, more specialized models. It's sort of a collective push forward that benefits everyone involved.
Okay, so we have the market, the tools. Now let's talk about the AI models themselves, the brains behind the buzz. The variety and specialization we're seeing now are incredible. There are new models optimized for consumer hardware, like Army's 414B, specifically designed for tool use, makes advanced AI more accessible on, personal devices.
Right, pulling it closer to home. But what's truly striking, I think, is how specialized models are starting to really outshine their generalist counterparts in specific areas.
Yeah.
You mentioned Vijaye M2, that 32 billion parameter model. It's setting a new open source standard in medical AI. And then Biomna R0, only an 8 billion parameter model, but it's outperforming even larger frontier models in biomedicine.
Wow. Okay. That's a huge statement then. So it's not just about bigger models anymore, but smarter, more focused ones.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it indicates a clear shift towards highly targeted AI applications, places where deep domain expertise is absolutely critical. So instead of just generalists, we're seeing this tailored intelligence that can achieve superior accuracy, better insights in specific fields like healthcare. And this has tangible impacts, like you see with the recent FDA approval for that AI-driven IVF embryo assessment tool. It fundamentally improves precision in really critical areas.
Yeah, that's powerful. Benchmarks are also proliferating, aren't they? From evaluating real web browsing with the online Mind2 web edition to the holistic agent leaderboard, to ALM providing a unified test bed for audio language models. And while LLMs can now solve most high school competition math problems, which sounds amazing, there's a nuance there, right?
There is. While they're impressive on complex reasoning, this raises an important question about their persistent challenges. These models still, well, they stumble on precise numerical evaluation. It's a phenomenon being called reasoning-intensive regression, which basically means they might grasp the complex logic, the steps involved, but then falter on the exact calculation at the end. It highlights that even with advanced reasoning, there are still fundamental areas for improvement in just foundational accuracy. And that's fueling continued research into new architectures, different approaches.
Got it. So, okay, how are all these advancements actually translating into real-world use for us? We're seeing some meaningful upgrades across popular platforms. VS Code, for instance, now accepts custom OpenAI-compatible endpoints. That gives developers much more flexibility with local or self-hosted models, easing that vendor lock-in worry. That's a big win for choice. And Google is enhancing its Gemini app with things like image editing features, playful figurine-style transforms. But maybe more critically, Gemini AI is launching on Google Home devices. It's set to replace Google Assistant, promising more intuitive and complex smart home commands.
These platform upgrades are so crucial for broader adoption. What's fascinating here is how AI is becoming more deeply integrated into our daily tech ecosystems. From development environments to our smart homes, making interactions feel more seamless, more powerful. It's about making AI less of a separate thing you use and more of an inherent part of the technology you already interact with every day.
And it's definitely revolutionizing commerce. You mentioned Wayfair's Muse AI personalizing home design searches with generated images. Amazon's Lens Live lets you scan physical products in a store with your phone for instant info. Bridges that online-offline gap.
Exactly. Yeah. These applications are fundamentally changing how we shop, how we interact with products, moving towards a highly personalized, very visually driven experience. The whole idea of virtual try-on becoming just a commodity feature, that's a great example of this trend. It indicates a broader shift in what consumers expect now.
And beyond consumer tech, AI is tackling some serious operational challenges too. Starbucks, apparently, is rolling out an AI inventory system supposed to boost counting speed eightfold and reduce stockouts.
Efficiency gains.
In healthcare, Beacon Health adopted an AI clinical scribe specifically to reduce physician burnout. Even governments are getting in on it. Ukraine launched what they're calling the world's first AI agent for government services. Lets citizens get documents via chat.
These diverse examples really show AI moving beyond just novelty to become like foundational infrastructure. It's about enhancing efficiency, accuracy, accessibility in these critical sectors, demonstrating AI's tangible positive impact on society, from managing inventory at Starbucks to supporting climate protection with tools like Microsoft's AI map tool or China's Fingwu and Lingxi weather AI. AI is truly becoming an augmentation tool, not purely replacement.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit now. Let's transition to the profound human and societal questions that AI inevitably raises. We hear leaders noting a shift from sort of over planning to rapid prototyping in AI development.
Right. And that agility is definitely a hallmark of generative AI. But it necessitates increased vigilance, doesn't it? This raises an important question about ensuring responsible development practices actually keep pace with the speed of innovation, especially given AI's growing capabilities and its reach. We're moving at light speed, and we need to make sure we're looking where we're going.
That leads us directly into some critical concerns about AI and child safety. We've seen some truly tragic instances, like that Florida teen's suicide following chatbot interactions, which prompted OpenAI, rightly, to roll out parental controls and distress alerts for ChatGPT, and digital safety advocates like Grace Tame are warning about AI-powered abuse apps targeting children, leading Australia to announce sweeping reforms to ban deepfake and stalking apps.
These events just underscore the urgent need for robust safety measures, for regulation to protect vulnerable users. It's critical. And the research finding inconsistent support for suicide-related queries across popular AI chatbots, that highlights a critical gap that needs immediate attention. What's maybe fascinating in a grim way here is how quickly societal responses are developing, both platform-level changes and governmental action. It shows a strong awareness, thankfully, of the potential human cost involved.
Yeah. Another significant issue, one that's often overlooked, is the environmental cost of all these free AI tools. The rapid expansion of AI servers is driving up fossil fuel use, energy costs, pollution, with tech giants like Google and Microsoft now apparently exceeding their 2020 emissions levels.
It reveals a kind of hidden footprint of the AI boom, doesn't it? If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's absolutely crucial to acknowledge these environmental impacts and to really push for increased investment in renewable energy to power this increasingly critical technology sustainably. It's a trade-off we really need to address head-on.
Cybersecurity is also top of mind. AI is becoming a tool for both defense and attack. We're seeing things like AI-powered ransomware, like PlompBlock, and reports of Anthropic's Claude Code AI being used in extortion campaigns. Even ethical hacking tools are apparently being repurposed by cybercriminals.
Yeah, AI is definitely a double-edged sword in cybersecurity, no question. It creates more sophisticated threats, but it also offers new defensive capabilities. The release of Rubrik's undo button feature, they call it Agent Rewind, for enterprise AI errors, that's a really pioneering step, I think, towards managing these risks, building confidence in agent-powered automation by acknowledging, look, mistakes will happen, and providing a way to audit and reverse them is key.
Right, building in safeguards. Finally, there are those deeper sort of philosophical and ethical discussions, the illusion of AI personhood, the lack of diversity in model outputs, like that finding of 90% joke overlap among leading LLMs.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And the Columbia study warning about AI's blind spots in global contexts, potentially leading to biased decisions because cultural nuances are missed.
These are absolutely essential conversations we need to be having. As AI becomes more sophisticated, understanding its limitations, its inherent biases, the psychological impact it has on users, it's paramount. We have to encourage critical thinking, question the assumptions baked into these systems, and ensure that AI development is guided by strong ethical frameworks if we want to build a beneficial and equitable future.
So, after all that, what does this all mean for you listening? We've navigated a pretty complex landscape today, haven't we? From the intense competition for AI dominance, the explosion of developer tools, to revolutionary applications in healthcare and commerce, and these critical discussions around safety, ethics, and environmental impact.
The pace is just relentless and the implications are vast. This deep dive has shown us, I think, that AI is not just another technology. It's a force reshaping our economy, our society, our very understanding of what's possible. Staying informed and engaging critically with these developments is honestly more important than ever.
So, to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on, with AI now demonstrating abilities like detecting consciousness in coma patients days before traditional assessments, and orchestrating complex tasks like legal research or autonomous grocery store navigation, are we nearing a point where AI's most profound impact won't just be in doing more things for us, but in fundamentally challenging our very definition of intelligence itself, forcing us to reconsider our own unique contributions in a world where machines are increasingly thinking? How will that redefine your own role, your own perspective? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.